It's Cindy です。カナダトロント郊外から発信しています。このチャンネルでは日本であまりお目にかかれないような話題やニュースを中心にお届けしています。
Guardians.
Very exciting. It's now signed. That's fantastic, Roger. I'll walk over there. That is great. Here, you stay right there. Roger. Here, Roger. Please don't put this on eBay tonight. Here, Roger. Come here, Roger. Then we're going to sign. Okay. Roger, that's for you.
Thank you so much.
That's for you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do it. This is great stuff. Okay.
Force Base will become Patrick Space Force Base. Today we make history with the first two installations in the history of the United States Space Force to bear the name of this new branch of the service. It is a great day.
Just a year ago, on 20 December 2019, at a hangar at Andrews Air Force Base, the President signed into law the National Defense Authorization Act, which is the birth certificate of the United States Space Force.
Buddy, my only dream when I was growing up was to join the Air Force and become an astronaut. And clearly my parents cursed me with bad genes, and I had to get these things disqualifying me. But today, I had to end up going into the Army and being a ground pounder. But today, you'll notice I'm wearing my Air Force socks. Do not tell anyone in the Army. They'll think I'm a heretic. I hope there's not an ethics violation here, but I'm ready for some Space Force socks whenever they come out. We'll make sure they get routed. Just saying, what an incredible day. I'm humbled and beyond words to be able to be part of this. Sounds cliche at this point, following these great leaders. Very special thanks to President Trump, Vice President Pence as well. They spearheaded this effort, truly an historic effort. Sixth branch of the United States Armed Forces, 1 year ago today. You know, when I was a kid, I told you, when somebody would go, what do you want to be when you grow up? I grew up in the 70s. What did you say? I want to be an astronaut. My son's 19. He grew up in the 2000s. And when I'd ask him, you know, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd get all sorts of wacky stuff about, I want to be a baseball player or lacrosse player. You know, it broke my heart, you know, because that's where our country had come to with our our space in the space domain. And you know, because of you all, our sons and our daughters now, when they're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Guess what they're going to say again? Astronaut. This administration's bold decision to create the first new service in over 70 years, I love that. HAP. What the heck? What a great description. And you know, to talk about the historic legacy going back, the HAP Raymond. You know, I know you're just nodding your head. That's not, but that's really so telling. General Raymond noted publishing the service's first space power doctrine earlier this year and establishing Space Operations Command. To commissioning 86 graduates. 86 graduates came out of the Air Force Academy this year and launching their careers into the Space Force.
That America remains as dominant in space as we are on land and sea and air. Welcome to the first anniversary of the United States Space Force. I am the second biggest champion of the Space Force in this administration. So as we begin, allow me to bring greetings and first anniversary congratulations from a champion of everyone who wears the uniform of the United States and the founder of the United States Space Force. I bring greetings and congratulations from the 45th President of the United States, President Donald Trump. I'd like you to join me in thanking Congressman Doug Lamburn for your great leadership on behalf of our Space Force. Congress of the United States, Congressman Brian Babin, thank you. So join me in thanking Senator Kevin Cramer for your outstanding and seminal leadership. Join me in thanking Congressman Adam Smith, the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, and the incoming ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, Congressman Mike Rogers, two leaders who have championed the United States Space Force. After the Space Force became law, the President's first decision was who would lead it. And the President and I get the sense in the room, there is broad agreement that he got that decision right, too. He chose a man. He chose a man who you've heard from these podiums already is considered to be the Hap Arnold of our time. He would become the Chief of Space Operations of the United States Space Force, and I can tell you, having witnessed his leadership firsthand, that when General J. Raymond stepped forward, it brought the leadership, the energy, the vision, the professionalism, and the patriotism necessary to have this historic year for the United States Space Force. So join me in thanking General J. Raymond, his wonderful wife Molly, and his proud son Gary for all of their commitment to America. Thank you, General. Great job. "3,600 officers and enlisted airmen have already started to fill out the paperwork to transfer into the Space Force." In fact, General Raymond tells us that we anticipate on our current trajectory the Space Force will have nearly 6,000 space professionals serving all across the globe in just a short period of time. In fact, today the Space Force got its newest and perhaps most famous member, a man who is actually in space right now at the International Space Station. General Raymond took care of the paperwork. And I think it might actually be the first in-orbit transfer in military history. Colonel Michael Hopkins, NASA astronaut and member of the United States Space Force. Great man. Space Force installations in American history: Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and Patrick Space Force Base. And in President Donald Trump, we have a commander-in-chief who's understood clearly that space is a warfighting domain. And it's imperative that we invest the resources and the personnel and the technology to defend our nation and defend our values in the outer reaches of space. As I mentioned, we just returned from the Oval Office, and so it is my honor, on behalf of the President of the United States, to announce that henceforth, the men and women of the United States Space Force will be known as Guardians.